Hey guys, this is Ron Moore along with Green.
Hi everyone.
And yeah, today I just almost forgot, but I barely noticed that today, unfortunately, is the 5th anniversary of XGemini's death, aka Robby, an online friend of me and Green's. Those some of y'all may remember me talking about him. We did some various tributes to him over the years. 2007, around the time he died. That week, we did the SC2K show, review of Mega Man 3. In 2008, I did a little tribute video on my Ron Moore channel. In 2009, I did an LP of Mega Man 3. I think you were in that one, Green.
I believe so too. I don't remember.
And in 2010, I couldn't think of anything. But then in 2011, it hit me. Well, idiot, you should have done an SC2K LP this time of Mega Man 3. So we did that one last year, and Green and Star Soldier were in that one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we got in J-Man War 2. And then this year, I mean, I could have done a little budget review, I guess, but it's too late now. And I just thought, I need to do something, a little something, even though it's not super special. Like, just do, I guess, a quick podcast about Robby. So some of y'all might not even care to listen to this because most of y'all probably don't know him, except me and Green and maybe a few other people. If I post this on Robby's MySpace, uh, which I think people still, go there once a year to pay tribute to him and post something. Um, and I'll email Robby's parents like I do every year just to see how they're doing, and I'll send them the video. But yeah, but me and Green decided to do a little tribute, kind of like I guess some of our stories of how we knew Robby. And yeah, it still sucks, 5 years later. I mean, still haven't forgotten him. And we first met Robby like in the days way before YouTube. I mean, in the days of MSN groups, where MSN groups were a big deal. And I met Robby the first time. Some of y'all probably heard the story before in previous tribute videos and whatnot, but I first met Robby in the Gaming Utopia group. Were you a member of that one, Green?
Uh, I barely remember that one.
Okay, because there was Game Utopia, and then he closed that down, I think, and revamped it to Classic Game Utopia. Um, First, it was just Game Utopia. Actually, I first met Robby in Mega Man's Clubhouse, which is where I think I met Green.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's where we all pretty much met.
yeah, and I posted, this thing, summer 2003. Hey guys, yeah, I don't really like Mega Man that much anymore, except for the old school ones. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave. But for those of you who want to stay in contact with me and still talk about Mega Man, here's my email address. I think Robby was the only one to email me. And I said, hey, yeah, all right, cool. And he goes, well, you want to join my Game Utopia group? And I said, all right, cool. So I joined, and I invited someone else to join from my Southside Video Games group. And she joined, and then I posted a welcome message. Hey, thanks for joining. And two of Robby's friends were the assistant managers, and one of them got real butthurt when I posted, that welcome message. He goes, "This ain't your group. F that. This is our group." And I'm like, "Whoa! I never said it was my group. I was just welcoming her because I invited her, and she's a friend of mine, and she joined the group." And then I forgot where else I argued about with those two. Robby didn't. I didn't like his two friends on that group. They just started arguments with people. I think they were just power hungry because they were the assistant managers and thought they were all cool because of that. And they, eventually got banned because I cussed him out a lot and run my mouth, toward them. And no, Jim and I didn't ban me, of course, but he went by a voting system and he got outvoted, and so he respected their wishes and he let them ban me. And I told him, it's all good. I don't want to be in that group anyway with those two. But eventually, those two disappeared from the group, and then Jim and I brought me revamped, I think, Classic Game Utopia. Or I might have rejoined Game Utopia, and then he helped me. He let me be assistant manager, and then he closed that down and made Classic Game Utopia, and he made me assistant manager there. He eventually stepped down and made me pretty much the manager and pretty much take over. And yeah, so that was pretty cool. I'll never forget when Robbie took up for me. Well, no, I mean he didn't take up for me, but he was the one that was nice to me in the group, and I guess those were his friends, and he didn't want to ban me, so I guess he goes, well, the fair thing to do is if we'll talk about it and see what happens, and then they voted me off. So, but he was nice to me in that group. Those other two, they were being jerks, and Robbie was always nice, never had a problem. We never got into a heated argument, anything. He seemed like a good, humble kid. Wasn't a jerk or anything. And so that's where I first met him. And yeah, those are one of my fond memories of him. What about you, Green?
Oh boy, let's think back because
Let's think. Laws.
that's not how it works. But to be honest, this is the part of the story that I don't think I told you actually. Like when I first found Mega Man's Clubhouse. Um, I forget what I was doing, but I had Mega Man Anniversary Collection, and I was looking stuff up on Google, and I stumbled upon. It was actually a conversation between you and him about something. So I was like, huh, this is interesting. So I signed up, and then that's how you met me. And then I stuck around there for a while. You introduced me to him. I started talking to him. There were a few things we talked about. Mega Man 3. Of course, all of us were in that conversation when we heard about the rumors for Mega Man 9 coming out, what we were hoping for, what would happen. And then the whole thing where my account got hacked and everyone was after me and thinking I was saying things that I wasn't. And I had Robby, and I had someone else that were pretty much backing me up while the entire clubhouse was against me trying to get me banned.
Hmm. I might have. I vaguely remember that. I remember something like that kind of happened to me. And Dr. Light, I think one of the managers of the group wanted to ban me.
Yeah, I remember that. That was like, it was back to back practically. Like, it was me first, then it happened to you. Except with you, it kind of got blown up. Like, everyone was getting chewed out with that.
Yeah, and I think Robbie was backing me up, and like,
You know, oh, we both were. It's just, we found out late, and we were just like, whoa, what's going on? Because um, after a while, we were just kind of like just us talking and not paying attention to the forums. And then we see all of this happening, and then we go jump to the rescue.
yeah, yeah, there was a lot of drama in MSN groups in those days. And and Robbie's the kind of person that'll take up for you, and like in Gaming Utopia, he really didn't because I guess he wanted to, kind of like be the mediator or respect his friends, and so they went by a voting system. But at the same time, he told me he was like, I voted against that, but I didn't want you to get banned, and so I remember him being nice to me in that group, and but I mean, yeah, he knew me, he knew you, he knew we wouldn't do any stupid spamming or whatever, and yeah, so that was pretty cool of him to back us up, and there was, I think, yeah, so like, I never got to talk to him like verbally, but I've seen pictures of him, and yeah, I never got to talk to him verbally or anything, but man, I was like, if he was still alive today, I know he would probably be in some of our videos, and especially Mega Man 3. I
Oh, of
mean,
course.
Mega Man 3, I think, was his favorite Mega Man game. He said it was the best in the original series, and of course, I was going to disagree with that because Mega Man 2 is my favorite. But
Oh, those little arguments you two had were hilarious.
yeah,
Like, well,
one time he was joking. He called me a tard. I think I made a joke about something. He goes, Ronnie, you tard. And
uh,
yeah,
all I remember was, I don't know why, but I definitely, sometimes with the arguments you would troll, like, oh, 2 is better, no, 3 is better, no, 2 is better. Then here I come, I'm like, oh, 6 is the best game.
and then we both just target you
Exactly. It was funny though because I was just like, nobody talks about sex, so I'm just gonna say this.
Yeah. And yeah, and so like so we would talk off and on over the years, and then like, but I think that period in 2006 to 2007, I don't know what happened, if he just got busy or whatever, but I really can't remember the last time I spoke to him. I think it was on Messenger, and I think he just said he's been busy and stuff, and that was it. And then like many months later, probably about a year later, I was eating pizza and watching Fresh Prince. I think it's like a day or two after he passed away. And then all of a sudden I get up, my computer's next to the TV, so I see a pop up, a Yahoo Instant Message, and it said Gemini Zero something, and I didn't think that was really XGemini because I had another friend I think on Yahoo a long time ago, Gemini something, and I thought it might have been him, who I deleted from my contacts I think, and then I get the message that said, um, what did it say? It said funeral arrangements or services will be held so and so on this day at this place, and I'm thinking, this person I think has the wrong contact or something. I don't know who this is. I'm not sure. So I responded. I said, "Who is this?" And then went back to eat pizza and watch Fresh Prince. And then a few minutes later, he responded. He goes, "Did you know Robby Neichin? Were you a friend of his?" And that right there, it just hit me. I'm like, "Oh no." Because, I did the math. I put two and two together. I'm like, funeral services be held. And then all of a sudden it comes back and says, "Did you know Robby?" And I'm thinking, "Oh man, don't tell me he died." I said, "Yeah, yeah, I know him." And he goes, "He got killed in a car wreck on December 11th." I said, "Oh man, that really hit me hard." And ever since then, I've at the time I was working on the Mega Man 3 S2K show, and I decided to start over and do a tribute to him. Me and Raven did. Raven didn't know him, but I mean, it's pretty much dedicated to him. Um, and yeah, so that really sucked. And I remember that video. I think it's still it's in the S2K archives on the S2K channel. I think I wore the Mega Man anniversary. Remember that T-shirt that came when you reserved your copy of Mega Man Anniversary Collection at GameStop?
Oh yeah, I remember that shirt.
Yeah, I wore that shirt in that video because we talked about that shirt, and he reserved his copy. And Venom has that shirt. I don't know if he still has it, but he had the black one. I had the white one.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I wore that, and yeah, and so like ever since then, every year, if I don't forget, I contact his parents to see how they're doing, and they're doing fine. But and it's kind of good to talk to them this time of year, even though it's a sad time of year. But I mean, uh, kind of don't want to bring it up to them. Oh well, it's another year that since another year's passed since your son passed away. But I mean, they're not going to forget. They know that. But it's good just to check up on them and talk to them, and they appreciate it. They appreciate the videos I've done for Robby and everything, and yeah, and I think that's probably. I thought I had something else to say about Robby, like a certain memory, but that's probably it. I just yeah, I just know that um, he loved the old game. I think old school games mainly. He loved swords. He loved to collect swords. I think there's a picture of him holding a sword.
Yeah, I remember that one. You showed me that.
And what else did he do? Yeah, he just definitely loved Mega Man, especially Mega Man 3. And I didn't really know much about this guy. I never talked to him verbally. Never met him in person. Just talked to him through Messenger. Through just texting the Messenger. And I knew he lived in Monroe, Washington. And yeah, and so sadly, I think he died when he was 19. I think he's about to be 20. I think his birthday's this month. I'm not sure. And yeah, so that yeah, this really sucked when I knew him for 4 years, and then finally he passed away, and that really sucked. But yeah, that was my one of my fond memories about him was when he was nice to me on the group, and then he eventually. Oh yeah, I remember another story. Sometime after he passed away, activity in the Classic Game Utopia group started to go up to where in the rankings on that category, our group is #1. If you do you remember those group rankings where you can check and see what ranking your group is according to activity?
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't quite get it, so I kind of ignored it.
Yeah, and honestly, one of the reasons why we were #1 really was because we were playing a game where you post a word and you post in the next thread you post a word. No, you post a letter and the letter game. And like I post a G and you post a green and then you post the next letter after that J and I post joke and I post the next letter after that I and I gotta post another word that starts with that letter.
Mm-hmm.
We did that a lot. Me, Cowback, I think some other people in there, maybe you, I'm not sure, but and that right there, boosts the activity up because the rankings go by number of posts in the group. Then I think there's other stuff too. We're posting game news discussions. Around that time after he died, the group became real active. I had a short spurt of activity and became #1 in the group. I told Jody about that. I told Swindoll, I said, look at that, man. The group's #1 now. And he goes, I wonder I wonder if Robby has something to do with that, spiritually, in the spiritual realm, just helping us out, like making the group #1, somehow from beyond. I
Oh,
said,
that would be pretty cool. I won't be surprised though.
yeah, I won't be surprised. I mean, and that was pretty cool to think about, even though I doubt, honestly, that, in reality that really happened, but it was something cool to think about, like, Robby died. It's almost like, when someone dies, someone famous dies, the value of that, whatever he had or whatever his clothes, shoes, or car, or whatever goes up. It seemed
Mm-hmm.
like if Robby died and the group activity went up, it's like, wow, what? And it's just such an amazing coincidence. But yeah, it was pretty cool, and yeah, but 5 years later, we still haven't forgotten him, and I just wish, well, of course I wish he was still alive. He's too young to die, but another reason why I wish he was still alive is I'm pretty sure, even though he seemed like a real private person, he probably would have been in some of our commentaries, definitely Mega Man 3. That would have been awesome. I mean, yeah, so this is like in the days way before YouTube. I mean, it was all about, to me, it was all about MSN groups and SC2K website. Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, I don't think those are even around yet. Maybe they were, but I didn't. I know Twitter and Facebook were not, I don't think. But
Yeah, they
MySpace,
sure weren't.
but if they were, I didn't care at all about them. I mean, back then it seemed like to be all about MSN groups and MSN chat before MSN screwed things up. Then
Mm-hmm.
2005, 2006 is when YouTube started to get popular. Um, but yeah, this is way back in the day, and those are fun times. We have a Robby, real cool guy, and yeah, just awesome how it's funny how I ended up getting banned by those two. One of those two people, they didn't like me, and then ended up taking over the group. Yeah, be careful who you ban.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I didn't come back and ban them. I don't think they even joined the group or whatever. Uh, I think one of the guys that banned me, we ended up being messenger friends, I think, actually, after that. But he was still kind of a jerk, so I didn't really talk to him for long. And we pretty much, I guess, apologized to him, or I don't know if he already apologized to me. I was like, yeah, that was stupid about what happened about a year ago or so. Are we cool now? He goes, laugh out loud. Yeah, sure. But
Mm-hmm.
he just seemed like still like a jerk after that. And in the group, he posted, well, I see Ronnie's taking over this group now. I guess he seems like a cool guy. So, yeah, but I was like, whatever. The other guy, he totally disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. But ended up taking over the group. Robby trusted me with it. I think he was still manager, but he made me manager too and just didn't do anything. I guess he still wanted to be manager in case something happened or he wanted to do something else with the group and whatever. And so yeah, he was and back then that was an honor. It was a big deal if you became an assistant manager. Whoa, I'm assistant manager of a group. That's pretty cool, Of course, some people wanted the power just to be hungry and control things, but me, I just wanted to try to make the group better and more active, and I tried my best to do that. Um, yeah, so Robby was real cool, and he trusted me with the group. So yeah, yeah, he was awesome. So what's some more? If you have any more fun memories, yeah, you want to share, Green?
Um, Honestly, I mean, I think I've said my piece and like with stories and stuff, but I mean, not only for commentary and stuff like that, that I wish he was still around, but just because like, now Mega Man 9 and Mega Man 10 came out, and nobody ever expected a 10. Just to be able to talk to him and let him, witness that these games came out, and even that new Mega Man game that's coming out, that crossover game that's Mega Man and Street Fighter. Like, I would just like to have seen the reaction of him seeing this, like, actually happen, and then us all joking about and, like, looking back on what we used to talk about back in the clubhouse with, like, the Mega Man 9 discussion being one of our biggest, if not the biggest, threads we ever did on that clubhouse.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and we could do, me, you, and him could have done a podcast about MSN groups or Mega Man's Clubhouse in particular, Game Utopia, classic Game Utopia. That would have been a fun podcast between us three to do.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been awesome. And I wonder if you had a YouTube channel where you probably would have done something on YouTube. And I mean, this would have been, so many possibilities of what he could have done if he was still alive. And I mean, yeah. So, and yeah, so I don't know. Maybe next year, if I remember in time, maybe next year we'll do a low budget review of Mega Man 3. I mean, who knows? Um, and it seems like somebody might be thinking, "Dang, Ronnie, let him rest in peace. Stop bringing him up every year." Well, I mean, it's just I like to every year. I just remember, and it seems like I always have an idea. I pay tribute to him. So I mean, yeah, it's not that I'm trying to bring back bad memories, but I just feel like almost every year I have an idea to do a tribute to him, and I feel like I should do it. And I know his parents appreciate it, and they said they really appreciate me and how I make tribute videos to him and how I haven't forgotten him, and how much of a good friend I've been to him, and I guess still am, even though he passed away. How making these tributes to him and stuff, and yeah, I just felt compelled to do it all these years, and except that one year, 2010, I just couldn't think of anything, and I was like, well, wait a minute, you have an S2K channel, you didn't do nothing to S2K yet, and but yeah, and this year, the 5th year, 5 years, I can't believe it. It seems longer. It really
Mm-hmm.
seems
It sure
longer.
does.
So much has changed in 5 years. It's ridiculous. I mean, I didn't think I'd be doing YouTube stuff like this a lot. 2007, around the time he passed away, was when I started to begin to do that. Like, I was only a few months into it, and those videos are gone. If you go to my channel, you would not see, well, actually you will see videos from 2007, October. Those are like, me and my friends Venom and Angel and etc. playing Street Fighter on my TV. But as far as a review, I think it didn't start till like April 2008, because those reviews I did in 2007 that are taken down sucked. And I mean, one of those is Big Man 3, and so that's why I took those down. And so much has happened in 5 years. It seemed longer that he passed away. But yeah, so yeah, Robbie, we still haven't forgotten, and I'm glad that Robbie's parents are doing okay. Of course, it's been 5 years. They've moved on. Of course, this time of year though is tough because they're gonna remember that this is when he passed away. And but yeah, so yeah, I guess that's all we have to say about Robbie. We still miss you, and we still love you, and God bless you and your family.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, we're out of here. I'm Ron Moore.
I'm Green.
All right, God bless and take care.
Peace out, everyone.